My boss told me to get rid of the caution wet floor sign, then he fell on camera. I worked maintenance at Sterling Corporate Plaza, where my boss, Gerald Finch, cared more about aesthetics than common sense. Every morning for 6 months, I mopped the marble lobby at 7:30 and set out the yellow caution, wet floor sign near the glass entrance doors. Every morning, Gerald complained. "Makes us look cheap," he'd say, straightening his tie. Like some discount supermarket. I ignored him because the sign stayed until the floor dried. That was the rule. That was safety protocol. That was my job done right. Then Whitmore Industries scheduled a surprise walkthrough. Gerald burst through the executive suite doors at 7:40, phone pressed to his ear, a tall woman in a gray suit trailing behind him. His eyes landed on my yellow sign like it had personally insulted his mother. "You," he snapped his fingers at me. "Move that thing, now." I kept mopping. "Floor's still wet, Mr. Finch. Give it 5 minutes." "I don't have 5 minutes." He stepped closer, lowering his voice to that tight whisper he used when he wanted to sound threatening without witnesses. "Ms. Whitmore is here for a facility tour. If she sees that cheap plastic eyesore, we lose the contract. Remove it." The woman was already checking her watch. I looked at the marble, still glossy with moisture, then at Gerald's polished dress shoes, then at the security camera mounted above the reception desk. "Sir, I think you want to keep your job." He wasn't whispering anymore. "If you did your job right, no one would need that stupid sign in the first place. Get it out of sight before she walks in." My hands tightened on the mop handle. I wanted to argue. I wanted to point at the wet streak still visible under the overhead lights. Instead, I dragged the sign behind the reception desk and shoved it against the wall where nobody could see it. Gerald smoothed his jacket and turned toward Ms. Whitmore with his professional smile locked in place. "Shall we start with the main lobby? As you can see, we maintain immaculate standards." He gestured grandly toward the entrance, took 3 confident steps forward, and his right foot went out from under him like someone had yanked a rug. The sound was spectacular. His heel hit the wet marble with a squeak, his arms windmilled, and his coffee cup launched into the air in a perfect arc. He landed flat on his back with a wet thud that echoed through the entire lobby. The cup followed a second later, exploding across his chest and tie in a cascade of caramel macchiato and foam. Papers from his leather folder scattered everywhere. His phone skittered across the floor and crashed into the baseboard with a crack. Ms. Whitmore froze mid-step, one hand covering her mouth. I stood there holding my mop, watching Gerald stare at the ceiling with the expression of a man whose soul had just left his body and decided not to come back. His perfectly gelled hair was now plastered to the wet marble, and coffee was seeping into every thread of his charcoal suit. "Mr. Finch!" Ms. Whitmore's voice was strangled, like she was trying very hard not to laugh. Gerald didn't move. He just lay there, breathing hard, his face turning the color of a fire extinguisher. The elevator doors opened, and 2 administrative assistants stepped out, saw the scene, and immediately retreated back inside. I gripped my mop tighter and waited for the yelling to start. Full story on my channel below.